Oh my God.
Oh. Well, that's not what I was expecting.
Did you spend a fucking grand on this?
All right, gonna make it weird. This is an adored whiskey brand, and it's strong, and it's hyped, and it's nearly impossible to find on the shelf. It tops countless whiskey bucket lists. But the real story behind it is cold, calculating, ruthless. We're talking betrayal and hostile takeovers, and most people have never heard the unfiltered origin story of this unicorn whiskey that they're chasing north of $1,000. What happens when you pour blind just a glass and unfiltered opinions? Here we go.
Whoa.
Ooh. All right.
Ooh, that smells like,
Smells like bourbon. Smells like wood shop.
caramel. Almost like a charred caramel. Like there's also some char bits in there.
Caramels, vanillas, nice bit of oak,
Apples. Sweet. Bready.
A little bit of a spice in there too.
some spice.
Kind of cinnamon.
Chocolate malt milkshake.
Wow, I do. But it's potent, bro.
Ooh, too close.
It smells a little high proof.
It smells like high proof bourbon.
Like it just cleared my nostril.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were moving some dust in here earlier. It could be cherry.
It's cherry, you know, all the classic bourbon notes.
Classic.
Yeah, getting classic.
It's very bourbony bourbon.
Smells like our bourbon.
Damn.
Dude, hell yeah, that smells nice.
We're gonna zoom out for a second. It's the late 1800s, the Gilded Age, and one of the most respected distillers in Kentucky found himself neck deep in debt. Today, he's often referred to as the father of modern bourbon, but back then, his baby was circling the drain. He had big dreams, but he was overextended financially, and building and modernizing distilleries wasn't cheap. Enter a businessman, not a distiller, a financier, a money guy with a sharp mind for efficient operations and logistics. They team up. The whiskey guy thought he was getting a partnership, a lifeline, but the money guy had other plans. Business drama aside, is there any drama in the glass?
Oh. Well, that's not what I was expecting. Holy shit. Wow.
Oh, that's aggressive.
Ooh.
Gosh. It always just hits just right.
It's definitely sharp. Comes out right away. You get that punch in the mouth.
That's got punch.
That's big, bold.
It's a little higher proof than what I'm usually used to doing on here.
So yeah, it's good, but it's strong.
Definitely on the taste. The caramel shows up, the heat freaking shows up.
Apples, cask strength.
It's got a good punch, got a good warmth.
Okay. Caramel, cinnamon, vanilla, oak, and cherry.
You know, charcoaly, kind of char.
Oak tannin, vanillas, caramels, some leather.
I mean, I'm definitely getting some of those like leather tones in my nose.
Especially high proof, you're probably gonna get a lot more leather.
A little bit of a spice,
It's got some spice to it. It's got a little bit of like,
Sharp baking spices.
but not bad. It's still sweet, still cinnamon.
maybe it's a rye element. It's more spicy on the nose than it is on the palate, to be honest.
But it still has the caramel on the taste for me.
It's really sweet,
Kind of like a cornbread coming in there.
like a nice bourbon.
It's bourbon.
God damn. Burns. That burns.
A lot of ethanol. That's high proof Buffalo Trace territory.
It's like cask strength for sure, right?
Oh yeah, this is above 120.
Let me go back again. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
It got me good.
It's perfectly fine, but I'm not like actually thinking very deeply about this. I don't think this is very complicated.
Definitely be good with sugar and if it was cold.
It's enjoyable.
Solid bourbon. I like bourbon, so to me, this is just solid.
This episode is sponsored by Wild Grain.
You're trying to push me out like you tried to push me out of the box. Wild Grain. It somehow always lands at your place.
That is by design.
They specialize in freezer to basically directly into the oven, and you're gonna have beautiful like sourdough breads and artisanal pastries and fresh pastas. It's usually under 25 minutes, and the most important part is they're really good.
Dude, they're so freaking good.
I got myself a dose of the ham and cheese.
Oh, awesome. There's like a raspberry biscuit. Awesome. They have these cookies. You just plop them in. Awesome.
So whenever you're getting orders from Wild Grain, you're actually supporting small businesses and bakeries around the country. Also, with every order, they're donating 2 meals for charities. Yeah, you didn't know this?
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah. They're donating to the Spirit Disorder. Yeah.
It's so sick.
We actually got you really good deal. wildgrain.com/whiskey. You're gonna get $30 off your first box plus free croissants.
For life.
So you're looking at a classic bourbon, uncut, unfiltered, straight from the barrel. This is high proof stuff, usually bottled between 130 and 140 proof. But if you're a bourbon nerd, you know that a new bourbon can only enter the barrel for aging at 125 proof or less. Their proof actually goes up in the barrel because water escapes faster than alcohol in hot, dry aging conditions, and they intentionally store it high in the rickhouse to get that increased proof. So you end up with a whiskey that's stronger after 15 to 16 years of baking in oak. That's a long time for bourbon, and a big reason why 60 to 80% of it evaporates out of the barrel before it's bottled. That is a brutal angel share, but it's fitting considering the brutal origin story of this bourbon. The legacy is complicated and the history might be uncomfortable, but right now, is it delicious?
1 to 10, personal preference.
Like, this is the rating, right? A rating on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna give this one a solid 9.
7.5.
Yeah, it's not bad. 7.5.
6.5. At 8.
9.
This is a good whiskey. I mean, it must not be that bad. I've almost finished it already. I keep sipping it.
So this bottle hits. Big proof, big age, big flavor. But I also wonder what the score would be if people knew this bourbon was named after a calculating and opportunistic financier who bamboozled a beloved whiskey grandpa. So how much do you think it costs? Retail. Let's start retail. Not what anybody pays, but retail.
You've been getting me with these cost questions lately. I'm trying to get them right for once.
$60 range right there.
Doesn't seem like it's anything like special.
We know cost can be dictated by a lot of factors.
I'm gonna say it's moderately priced, like $50.
If this is above $40, I won't be very happy.
I'm gonna go with $50.
I think that costs $75.
$1.50.
Yeah, it's difficult to find, and if you're lucky enough to grab this bottle at retail, I mean, lottery winning, unicorn chasing, find it in the wild lucky, the price tag is going to be somewhere between $100 and $150 most of the time.
No. Really?
Well, it's good, and it's classic, and I like it, and it's bourbon.
Is this Willet?
But that's not the real number. This whiskey, right now, secondary market, it's pulling somewhere between $600 and $1,200 a bottle, depending on the year.
Why? Oh, man.
Oh, shit, okay.
Oh my God.
Holy
Fart on a fart.
can edit that out.
Okay, so it's that. It's something like that.
Well, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this, being that that's $1,000. I don't think I'm gonna throw this one away.
Did you spend a fucking grand on this?
Now I have to know what it is.
What do we got?
You son of a bitch. Why'd you do this to me?
Oh, this is the George T. Stag.
Oh, George T. Stagg.
Holy shit.
Top shelf bourbon.
I've never had this before. Always heard of it, yeah.
George T. Stagg, the heavyweight of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection and the one that turns whiskey fans into stalkers come fall allocation season. The barrel proof, the distillation year, the warehouse location, people memorize these things like baseball cards.
George T. Stagg.
Very hyped, very sought after. I've only heard about it in talk. It's hard to come by.
That's interesting. It's good. It's definitely not as smooth as what I associate bourbon with in my head. It's got a little more sharpness to it.
67.5. It does have a kick, but my God, 135.
At 135, first off, this drink's really nice. For 135,
That does not taste like 135. That was, I said 100, maybe 110.
Dude, hell yeah.
this does have like a tannic depth to it. This is more basic than I was expecting in a true blind, which is going to upset a lot of people, I imagine.
That's amazing. Thank you. I've never had the pleasure of trying this before.
This is probably one of my favorite bourbons. George T. Stagg or Stagg Jr. I would say is probably my favorite.
So George T. Stagg uses the same ingredients as Eagle Rare, Benchmark, and Buffalo Trace bourbon. But there's another bourbon from Buffalo Trace that uses the same ingredients as George T. Stagg, the Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch.
Yes, I have a bottle of that
You have E.H. Taylor.
at my house.
What do you think of E.H. Taylor?
Reminds me a lot of this, except mine is it's not 135 proof.
No, some Taylors use wheated mash, but E.H. Taylor, That's our whiskey guy. In the late 1800s, the beloved bourbon icon looking for a lifeline as his whiskey dream was getting swamped by crashing waves of debt. And who he found was George T. Stagg, the money guy, a shark who knew how to navigate the sea of finance with ruthless efficiency.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. This isn't part of the...
Right. Keep going. The story. Get back to the story, will ya?
Colonel E.H. Taylor was more romantic. He's a hands-in-the-mash kind of guy. But romance isn't finance, and as Taylor's debts mounted in the late 1870s, Stagg began paying off the distiller's creditors under his own name. With every payment, Stagg gained more legal and financial control over the distillery. Eventually, Taylor found himself edged out of the very business he built, and Stagg effectively took over Taylor's distillery through a slow-motion financial coup.
Oh, cowboy move. Holy shit.
Jeez.
He sniped it.
Damn.
Bought it right out from underneath.
Well, I like it more now. That is ruthless.
Yeah, thanks for absorbing all the startup costs. Now I'm gonna swoop in and take over.
And Taylor was furious. Their partnership dissolved into bitterness. He left and accused Stagg of betrayal, describing him as cold, as calculating, and as ruthless in later public statements. And in a letter to friends and partners, Taylor said Stagg had no sympathy for whiskey, only for money. Taylor thought he was getting a lifeline. What he got was an unwitting buyout, one he deeply resented. And with Taylor gone, Stagg renamed the distillery after himself, the George T. Stagg Distillery.
His own name? What a bitch ass motherfucker. That's awesome.
And under Stagg's leadership, the distillery became the largest bourbon producer in the world.
It was called Stagg from the moment he bought the distillery up until it turned into Buffalo Trace. It was like nearly 100 years of Stagg, but I don't know if people will love that story.
It makes sense, but it is one of those, you start turning those stones over, you find out all your favorite products have similar stories, unfortunately.
That's kind of f***ed up, but people still love it.
Let's talk about what makes this whiskey hard. Buffalo Trace loses tens of thousands of gallons to evaporation every year trying to make whiskey like this. And they still have to be picky. In 2021, they skipped the release entirely because none of the barrels made the cut. That's not marketing spin, that's real loss. Millions of dollars left on the table. George T. Stagg, the man, would probably hate it. The businessman in him would be rolling in his grave. But the brand that bears his name today has adopted a new kind of ruthlessness. Not the takeover kind, the protect the legacy at all costs kind. That's a strategic move, and absolutely the right one, because sometimes protecting a whiskey's value means walking away from the short-term money. George T. Stagg lives in a category that's extremely niche. We're talking about ultra-premium, barrel-proof, long-aged bourbons. It's been elevated to this weird collectible status.
We're all here for the hype. We're all here for the excitement, man. At the end of the day, you strip that away, I'd prefer some pretty cheap stuff to this.
But among whiskey nerds, Stagg is often ranked above Pappy, but is that enough to earn a spot on your shelf?
Oh yeah, I'll take it home with me.
But I'll take this one.
This specifically is gonna go on my shelf at home.
Whatever you have left, I'll put it on my shelf.
MSRP, absolutely.
For MSRP in a heartbeat, is it off of flavor? Honestly, no.
Absolutely, if it's not the money cost that you said.
I don't see myself paying $1,000 for it,
Secondary, this is not worth that much.
but like go to middle of nowhere and find it at some crazy liquor store, I'd buy it. Let's get a case.
Dude, yeah. If I ever have a grand laying around, yeah, definitely.
Definitely don't have $1,000 for a bottle today.
Everybody keeps asking me for raises.
It's a $1,000 bottle. I needed to taste it again to make sure.
If Colonel E.H. Taylor is often called the father of modern bourbon, then it's fair to say George T. Stagg is the father of corporate bourbon. He expanded quickly, scaled production, used industrial technology that outpaced smaller competitors. He ushered in a new model of bourbon, mass bottling, national sales, a business-first mindset that reshaped the industry. Yeah, look, a lot of us like to romanticize whiskey. We picture bearded old men in leather boots, the soulful distiller, a generational recipe, the heritage, polished and humble. But the truth, many of your favorite bottles wouldn't exist without a very different kind of man. I'm talking about the ruthless and calculating opportunists who move fast and take control. We do not raise a glass to them, but they've filled more than anyone else. Now, Taylor didn't just disappear, he built a distillery just down the road, Old Taylor. It was grand. expensive, castle-like. It was a big stone middle finger to everything Stagg stood for. In 1897, he helped pass the Bottled in Bond Act, a law designed to protect consumers and push back against the industrial forces that Stagg helped unleash.
They're rivals then, huh?
And that rivalry, that tension of craft versus capital, is still bottled up in every pore of George T. Stagg. So, yeah. Artists and sharks. Cheers, y'all. Hey, if you got a Stagg lover in your life, make sure you send them this video. Don't tell them what it is. I want them to watch it, and I'm curious to see what they think. If you're in Patreon, the Bastards Ball tickets are going to be going out this week through the tiers in Patreon, so be sure to check out your email. Our big annual event's going to be October. It's 4th. I think it's the 4th. Check your email. Looking forward to seeing you.